Learned about as far as Kody doing these apologies is that somehow it won't be received in the spirit that it is intended as far as exes and stuff like that are concerned. I feel like that it's been a lot. There just seems to be this like constant piling and piling and piling and just trying to ram him down the drain kind of a thing.
All right, squad. Welcome back. We all knew this moment was coming. The second Aurora Brown steps toward any kind of independence, Robyn Brown swoops in like a helicopter mom on a secret mission. And in this latest tender scene, she doesn't just interfere. She delivers a line so hypocritical it might just take the crown for the most audacious thing she's ever said on camera. Buckle up, because we're breaking down Robyn's not-so-subtle sabotage of Aurora's relationship, and you won't believe the evidence we have to back it up. On the surface, it's a sweet setup. Mother and daughter baking cookies, having a heart-to-heart while Kody's away. Aurora, who is 23 and still living at home, is giddy about traveling to see her boyfriend, Brody, graduate from basic training. This isn't some fling, they've been together almost a year. It's serious, but watch Robyn's face. Listen to her tone. It's not excitement she's projecting. It's an interrogation. She leans in with this loaded question. You guys are looking at this from a perspective of possible, truly long-term. When Aurora confirms they're praying about it constantly, Robyn doesn't celebrate. She pivots instantly to her own agenda. I want Aurora to experience life on her own. Let's just pause and highlight the absurdity here. If Robyn genuinely wanted her adult daughter to find herself and gain independence, the logical, number one step would be to encourage her to move out. Get her own apartment, live independently. But Aurora is still in the nest. So this isn't about fostering independence. It's a clever, manipulative tactic. Robyn is framing Brody and this serious relationship as the enemy of Aurora's self-discovery. It's a seed of doubt, perfectly planted. But Robyn can't just give generic advice. She has to center herself. So, she launches into this dramatic story about her own divine revelation with Kody, how she was on a drive, overcome by God's Spirit, tears streaming, hearing a voice declare Kody was her forever person. Why insert this epic tale here? 2 reasons. First, it's a blatant attempt to rewrite her own history. She's retroactively painting her entry into the family, which dismantled 3 other marriages, as a holy mandate. It wasn't her choice, it was God's will. Therefore, no blame. Second, and this is key for manipulating Aurora, she's creating a stark contrast. Her union was spiritually ordained, perfect, and unquestionable. Aurora's potential marriage? That needs to be heavily scrutinized, prayed over alone, and is ultimately just between her and God. It's a spiritual guilt trip designed to make a normal, happy relationship feel insufficient and risky by comparison. And then, she lands the hypocritical knockout punch. A man should not be a financial plan for a woman. Let that sink in. She says this while subtly side-eyeing Brody, a soldier in basic training, not exactly rolling in cash. The implication is clear. She doubts his prospects, and by extension, Aurora's motives. The sheer gall of Robyn Brown, of all people, giving this advice is almost unbelievable. But this is just the warm-up. What we're about to uncover from Robyn's own past, from her own pen, completely dismantles this entire performance and exposes the stunning projection at play. Stick around, because the receipts are coming. Let's just sit with that statement for a minute. A man is not a financial plan. Robyn delivers this pearl of wisdom with a completely straight face to her daughter, whose boyfriend is at the start of a military career. Is she subtly suggesting that Brody as a soldier isn't a good investment? That maybe Aurora is only with him for security? The level of projection here is off the charts. And we don't have to speculate about Robyn's own financial planning. We have her own words. In her book, Becoming Sister Wife, she writes explicitly about what she was looking for after her first marriage. I'm going to read this directly. If and when I married again, I wouldn't care the least bit what my husband looked like. My husband could be old or young, fat or skinny. I didn't care as long as he was a good man and a good husband. I wanted someone whose sole priority was taking care of his family. Let's analyze that. She didn't care about appearance, age, attraction, nothing superficial. Her sole, non-negotiable criterion was a man whose sole priority was taking care of his family. To take care of in this context means to provide, to support, financially. She was, by her own definition, auditioning men for the job of being her financial plan. She literally writes that anyone interested in this job had to prove he was caring, unselfish, and strong. She wasn't looking for a love story. She was hiring a provider. The hypocrisy is staggering, but the book gets even more telling. Later, Robyn discusses her own mother, Alice, who was vehemently opposed to her joining the Brown family and the TV show. Robyn writes, "Of all my relatives, my mom struggled the most with my decision. She worried I was putting my children in harm's way. She felt I was being irresponsible and not taking my children into consideration. Do you see the pattern forming?" Years ago, Robyn's mother expressed deep doubts about her life-altering relationship choice. Alice saw the chaos, the publicity, the instability of jumping into a televised polygamist family. She urged caution, implying Robyn should establish herself and stability first. Robyn dismissed it, playing the victim who knew best. Now, Robyn is in her mother's shoes. Aurora is making a serious relationship choice, and what is Robyn doing? Expressing doubts, urging caution, and implying Aurora needs to find herself first. She is literally repeating the cycle, but from the controlling side she once resented. She's projecting every single one of her own past insecurities, regrets, and maybe even the subconscious knowledge that her mother was right, directly onto her daughter. Aurora is a 23-year-old woman, a college graduate, fully capable of rational thought. Yet, Robyn treats her like a child who cannot be trusted to pick a partner. And Brody, he's being subtly painted on national television as an inadequate provider. Imagine being that young man, watching your girlfriend's mother imply you're not a suitable financial plan. It's cruel, and it reveals that Robyn's concern has nothing to do with love or happiness and everything to do with control, image, and her own mirrored regrets. Let's be brutally honest. If Brody was a wealthy, well-connected guy from their own fundamentalist circles, a man with a mansion and a business, does anyone honestly believe we'd be hearing this find yourself and financial plan lecture? Not a chance. Robyn's coded language reveals her true disapproval. Brody is an outsider. He's not from the culture. He's not on a guaranteed path to wealth. And therefore, he's a threat to the controlled environment she's built. This was Robyn's one opportunity to simply be happy for her daughter. To celebrate Aurora stepping into a normal, healthy relationship away from the family's toxic drama. But she can't do it. She has to hijack the moment, steal Aurora's thunder, and sow seeds of doubt. It's about maintaining dominion over the last adult child she has locked in her orbit. And the control runs terrifyingly deep. I was told something by a source close to the family, one of Aurora's cousins from her life before the Browns. They said that after the move to Las Vegas, maintaining a connection with Aurora felt nearly impossible. Robyn would monitor and interrupt their Zoom calls. Aurora's own biological father, Preston, would sometimes have to sneak on to these calls just to see his kids, because Robyn restricted access so severely. The cousins said Aurora felt utterly suffocated and controlled, and even privately referred to Robyn as Mother Got Hell. Let that sink in. Mother Got Hell. The witch from Tangled who locks Rapunzel in a tower, uses her for her own needs, and gaslights her about the dangers of the outside world to keep her dependent. At this point, Aurora isn't just a daughter, she's Cinderella. She's likely bearing the weight of domestic duties, helping to raise her younger siblings, managing her mother's emotional turbulence, all while performing for reality TV cameras. And now, as she tries to grasp her own chance at a fairy tale ending, the witch in the tower is cutting the thread, whispering that the prince isn't worthy and the world is too scary. Robyn is projecting her entire life's blueprint of insecurity onto this young woman. Find Yourself is a translation for Don't Leave Me. A Man Is Not a Financial Plan is a confession of her own past motives, twisted into a warning. It's painfully, devastatingly obvious. So what do you think? Is there a path for Aurora to break free from this enmeshed control, or are the chains too strong? Do you believe Robyn truly sees her children as extensions of herself, unable to have separate lives? And what does this manipulative moment reveal about the true state of her own marriage to Kody now? I want to hear all your theories in the comments below. This conversation is just getting started. If this breakdown of the manipulation resonated with you, Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps the channel grow. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an analysis, because we are just getting started pulling back the curtain on the real dynamics of this family. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.